אישנו נקמה פנה ותודה בזמירות נריע לו נקמה פנה ותודה בזמירות נריע לו כי אל גדול אדוני הוא מלך גדול על כל אלוהים כי אל גדול אדוני הוא מלך גדול גדול אלוהים כי אל גדול אדוני הוא מלך גדול על כל אלוהים כי אל גדול אדוני הוא מלך גדול על כל אלוהים רבנה לאדוני נריע לצור אישנו רבנה לאדוני נריע לצור אישנו נקמה פנה ותודה בזמירות נריע לו 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 All right, sounded good. Not bad reading there, dude. Maybe. It's not bad. A little bit of improv. Hello all, good Shabbos. Well, you know there's food next door, you're welcome to eat. We only come for the food, you realise that?
This is still practice for another 3 minutes.
But in 3 minutes time it'll be official. Before that it's not official. Alright, just looking at the running sheet, everyone good?
Anything else we need to go over?
Patrick, I think everything's familiar to you.
Who does that? Yeah. Whirlwinds of hair.
So my expectation is he will disappear and move around. So he might move things around a little bit and whatever.
That's fine now.
You can tell him. It'll help you with a bit of fault. Yeah. So.
I'll hop on drums, it's fine. Just kidding.
I've seen you next to
I can do at least the
So we'll actually start with that.
The very last D minor of the B section, I actually changed to an F. The last D minor, so second repeat of the B section, This is the second time through. This is now. Make sense? Would you prefer to stay with the D minor? I think it just sounds a little more dramatic. I am. You know. You know me.
Okay, the start's coming. We're good to go.
You know he's going to need that.
Yeah, I'll bring it back eventually.
You know that. I'll explain later.
Yeah, I've got several items of his clothing. Ready?
Ya'alo Sadai before the Shero. Ya'alo Sadai Ayyanai. Ya'alo Sadai before the Shero. Ya'alo Sadai Ayyanai. Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Ayyanai Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Ayyanai Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Aziranu Kol Hatzei Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Ya'alo Sadai Bechol Ashero Ya'alo Sadai Bizmiros Maria Lo Ekadma Baname Toda Bizmiros Maria Lo קדמה פנה בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. קדמה פנה בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. וקומר אדוני נריע לצוישנו. קדמה פנה בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. 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 עוזי וזמרתיה ויהי לישועה. Page 647. Page 128, Doddy Lee. My beloved is mine and I am my beloved's, and browses among the woodlands. Who is this that comes up from the desert in clouds of myrrh and frankincense? This is our bride, Shabbat. Doddy Lee, Anilo, Aroe, Vashoshani, Doddy Lee, Doddy Lee, Doddy Lee, Anilo, Aroe, Vashoshani, Doddy Lee, Zodora, Minamibat, Mizodora, Minamibat, Doddy Lee, Vanilo, Aroe, Vashoshani, Doddy Lee, Emutereton, Orulevona, Orulevona, Doddy Lee, Doddy Lee, Doddy Lee, Vanilo, Aroe, Vashoshani, Doddy Lee. Page 134. Ariul Adonai kol haaretz, Yitzchu v'ranenu v'zameru. Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Break into joyous songs. Songs of praise. We welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi on page 138. 138.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Damor v'zachor, v'dibur echad, Yishmianu el Avenu Chad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet, לקראת קבלת, בבית שבת, לקבלת, לחתוני, לקראת קבלת, בבית שבת, לקבלת.
Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 119 as we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of our Shabbat candles.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Our candles this evening were lit by the McCann family. Josh is celebrating his bar mitzvah this Shabbat. We wish you, Josh, Mazel Tov, and you'll lead us in the Via Hafta a little bit later. Let's take a moment to welcome those around us with the words of Shabbat Shalom. And as we do that, I'd like to welcome Margaret and Gary, who are visitors to our congregation. You're members of the Anglican Church, and we welcome you warmly.
Page 142, the angels, the messengers, accompany us, the words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Alekei HaSharei, Alekei Elyon, Imelech, Alekei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Rise on page 144 for the Chatzikat.
Amen.
Please be seated if you'll join with us on page 148. 148.
The Ma'ariv Aravim, the blessing for the evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv barabim, b'chokhma poteh sharim, ובתבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם בהרכיר כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריך.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, אהבת תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח לחוקך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. יראה חיינו, לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגלה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אלף תסיר ליבנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמון ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אנו שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננת לבביך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובשבתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי ביתיהם לדורתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה להם בציצית וריתם אותו, ותחתם
tomorrow. On page 157, in a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, may earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered, at Sinai we bound ourselves to a way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Adonai
there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Eternal One, help us to walk with goodness, with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Eternal One, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages. This is our covenant for all time.
Let us rise for the Amidah on page 164. We rise only if we are able. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitehi ha'atecha Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'hanora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol Ezocher Chaseh Avotei Imarot Mebigula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Moser U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Adonai Mechayim Eitim Atara Ve'Hoshia Mashiv Ruach U'Morit HaGeshem Maziach HaShemesh U'Morit HaTal Mechakeh Chayim B'Chesed
מחייב מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו ישנה עפר. מי כמוך רב הגבורות, ובדור מלך, מלך מניצול חייב ומשמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללו חסדך, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
There is a joke that goes through this congregation, and I mentioned it not as a joke, but a little bit earlier when we had drinks before services and we welcomed all those who volunteer in our congregation. Who here volunteers for TBI in some way or another? Like, it's almost everybody's hand goes up in some way or another. And the joke is that you'll be tapped on the shoulder and somebody will say to you, "We'd love to have you. It's only one meeting a month." You know what I'm talking about. This Shabbat, we've chosen to celebrate International Volunteer Week and to recognize members of our congregation and our community that volunteer, not just within the walls of Temple Beth Israel, but those who go beyond TBI. And after my drush, I'll invite you up onto the bema. To those of you who volunteer, in general, it doesn't just have to be for TBI. If you volunteer, come up onto the bema, open the ark, and share in this blessing. I sat down this week and I thought, what is the value? I don't really need those notes. What is the value of volunteers within our congregation and our community? And most of the time, when we try to understand value, we often look to a financial equivalent, don't we? Oh, I got this great deal. It wasn't such a great deal. And a few years ago, I heard about the impact of volunteerism in Australia and decided this Shabbat that I'd equate it to here. And I'm going to throw this out to you. How many hours do you think in total people give in volunteer hours to Temple Beth Israel? Take a guess. A year. In totality. Every volunteer, every week, every day. Take a guess. 10,000. I heard 10,000. I'll take 10,000. Was that fit? I'll take 10,000 hours.
Do we have a raise on 10,000, 10,000 on the left, 10,000, 10,500 on the left? 10,500, I have 10,500 on the left, on the right. Very good.
Whenever you're done, Michelle. 10,000 hours. How many hours does a person who works full-time in a salary counted hourly week, a year? 1,976 hours. So if you take 10,000 hours and you have 1,976 as one full-time employee, it is, you essentially have, and I'm going to roughly round, you essentially have 5 full-time people working constantly for Temple Beth Israel in some way or another as volunteers. And what is the minimum wage in Australia? No, let me re-ask that question. What is the average Australian wage? I googled this and Google's always right. $82,000. Really? Is the average. And so, I don't want to get caught in the details, Julian. Sandra, let's not get caught in the details. But even if you take it at the, let's say $50,000, okay, that might still be a little bit high. 5 people at $50,000 is the equivalent to $250,000, right? Easy math. If it's $80,000, it's $450,000. Imagine that. We at TBI, in our wildest dreams, could not employ 5 individuals full-time to visit the sick, to stand outside our congregation and keep us safe. Could not volunteer for Nourish, whether it's on a Tuesday now or a Wednesday lunch or a Monday night. Could not volunteer to be president. How many hours is that, Rebecca? It's more than one meeting a month, right? Our volunteers on our board our life book project, those who volunteer to sing in the choir, those who volunteer to sing every Shabbat, those who volunteer to fold envelopes. No, you don't fold you fold letters to go in envelopes. To pack the Kol Yisrael Hanukkah edition, which you will get this coming week. High holidays. Imagine the amount of volunteers that we have at High Holidays. It is tremendous. This congregation, Temple Beth Israel, relies to keep us going on volunteers. And once a year, if not more, sometimes twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, we wanted to stop and say to our volunteers, thank you. And just say thank you to Darabah. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for the work of your hands. Thank you for your minds. Because we know that that comes at an expense. What expense does that come at? Perhaps you're away from your families. Perhaps it's even at paid employment. Perhaps it's at the expense of preferring to do something else, go to the movies with friends. But there is a deep appreciation that we have because you choose to give your time to this, your congregation. And I, representing Michelle and Councillor Lee and Rabbi Lazaro, are deeply grateful, as is Rebecca and the full Board of Governance. And so in that thanks, in that appreciation, I'd like to invite all volunteers, every single one of you who is a volunteer, and it may be everybody on the beamer, to come up. And if you can't access the stairs, we do have a ramp on the side, to come on up. And I don't mind if the congregation is empty, because I'd much rather have you up on here. Allah, you're the first one. Why don't you lead the charge? Allah is our treasurer. Come on up. Open the ark, and if you are able, please rise. May the one who blessed our ancestors before us bless all those who give of themselves in many and varied ways to our community.
God bless those who contribute to the life of this synagogue, who give of their time and their hearts, who help bring Judaism to life for all of us and for the next generation, who volunteer and serve this community in ways seen and unseen, in this building and outside, and who give the gifts of love and support to the refugees, the homeless and the vulnerable. Adonai, bless those who spend time with those who are unwell or who are alone and lonely. We give thanks to them and to you, source of life.
Bless those who volunteer to keep us safe, spending time in the rain and the heat, watching carefully over us as you, God, watch over us too. Holy One, please bless them to find acceptance, appreciation, and joy here in the shul. May our volunteers know how immeasurably valued they are. May the works of their hands be blessed with much success, and may they walk the paths of peace along with their sisters and brothers in the household of Israel and the wider human family, And before we say Amen, we share in the Birkat HaKohanim, the priestly blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you, and may God watch over you always.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה.
May the light of God's presence continue to shine through you and all that you do, and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
And may God's presence acknowledge and thank the work of your hands and give you the most precious of all blessing, the blessing of shalom, of peace, and we say, Amen. As we stand in front of this holy ark and in the presence of Torah, we turn to Aleinu on page 586.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כיגע הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחרים וקוראים למלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא בנעימה וחיה אדוני מלך כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אלוהי
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, each and every one of you. We remain standing now as we turn in our prayer books in our Siddurim to page 598 for the mourners Kaddish, Kaddish, Yatom. For the week of Shiva, we remember Rosemary Newell, Erez Shapira, Magdalene Hoffman, Han Kim, and Gary Kay. And for the Shloshim, the 30 days of memory, we remember Rini Arapol, Kolya Atticus Donahue and Rosé, Yvonne Catchpool, Jeffrey Green, David Ross, Alexander Vayner, and Naim Volkov. The Yarnsites anniversaries of whose death fall on this Shabbat, we remember Johnny Bush, Elizabeth Bain, Itziel Berrison, Michael Bruce, Paul Berman, Lionel Carrick, Henry Cherney, Gerald Cullen, Sol Freeman, Ralph Feldman, Hermione Fleischman, Gerald Friedlander, Dave Friedman, Kate Kotlian Geldman, Melvin Goldstein, Bella Jacobovitz, Zara Bobby Joseph, Andrew Michael Kahan, Bruce Lebransky, Shirley Lewis, Joan Natalie Liebman, Julius Penner, Rosa Rosta, Moshe Meir Rabbeisen, Claude Solomon, and Vaughn Wolf. If you'd like to remember the name of a loved one, I invite you to share their names at this time. Zecher Tzadik Libracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing as we join together in one voice, as is our custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach kirtei v'yamlit malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayeda kol Beit Yisrael, v'galav v'zman kariv v'merur amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach v'olam lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemeda Kudasha, Bariku, Laela Minko Berkata, Vishirata, Tushbakata, Venechemeta, Dami Ranbiama, Vimarur, Yahei Shlama Rabba Minchemaya, Bachayim Alenu Viakol Israel, Vimur, Amen. Ose Shalom Bimrama, Huya Se Shalom, Alenu Viakol Israel, Veimur, Amen. Hamakom Yenachem Echem B'toch Sha'ah Havlei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world. And we say, Amen. As we are seated, our President, Rebecca Silk, will make some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. And thank you, Patrick and Sharon and Ari and Louis and Ronin for your liturgy this evening. Wonderful to have the ensemble here, isn't it? And welcome everyone. Welcome to all our volunteers, and thank you. Thank you deeply from the Board of Governance. We really appreciate all that you do for us. And welcome if you're visiting, and welcome if you're here in memory of a loved one. A few announcements. There are 2 services tomorrow. Our Shacharit service in the morning, 10 o'clock. Do join the McCann and the Sonnenberg families as Josh becomes Bar Mitzvah. And at 3:30 you can also join us for a Mincha service with the Popper family as Sophie becomes Bat Mitzvah. Sunday is the first night of Hanukkah, so don't forget to light your first candle. And then we've got a whole lot of activities through the week, which will culminate next Friday here, when we'll have family celebrations starting at 5 o'clock, and then candle lighting at the service at the normal time, 6:15. Please bring your Hanukkah, and it will be 6 candles that we'll light. So there'll be lots of light in here. Also this week, on Wednesday, Project Dignity is hosting a community diversity dinner. This is a wonderful community initiative. It's about sharing across generations, across faiths and across cultures. There are some places still available, so do see Sue Morgan, who's here, if you are interested in joining. Then on Thursday, we've been announcing for a few weeks the Jewish Community Council of Victoria. We will be joining them in the William Cooper March. You'll see that on your sheet. It's being referred to as Walking Together. So do come to this significant event on Thursday night. We'll start at 6:30 from a place in the city at Flagstaff Gardens, and then go on the walk together. And that takes us then to a week's time on Friday for the Hanukkah service, which will be followed by community dinner, as it is the first Shabbat of the month. Lots more happening, so please take your sheet home with you. Do please thank our CSG and our SPT volunteers on your way out for keeping us safe. And after the final song, as you know, we'll be having kiddush at the back with cake, I think.
It's a very special cake for our volunteers. Only the volunteers are allowed cake. Just kidding.
There we are, and please return your books to the trolley as usual. Shabbat.
Such a good thing that our volunteers are good at sharing. Wonderful thing. We do conclude with the words, Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. U'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. En Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. En Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. One more time. En Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
As you come to the back of the hall, the red is wine, the white is grape juice, the nectar of Johnny Walker is in the middle, as is the cake, and let them eat cake. The Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagav.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu b'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon hinkiranu zikaron le'maaseh bereishit. Yom Tehila Demikra Kodesh Zecher Yitziat Mitzrayim
Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim.
B'Shabbat kodsheha ve'ahava u'vratzon hinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom and b'teavon. Bon appetit. Go on, you got to grab a piece. There you go. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. There you go. Shabbat shalom.